And we are live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And welcome, one and all, to the spotlight on King Alex. Alex, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, mate. Thank you very much. How are you?
Not too bad at all, mate. Not too bad at all. Can I just say, when I was checking out your channel, mate, fuck me, you are such a typical recon sniper boy. That King Alex fucking... the muscly pose fucking thing in your channel. Do you shave your chest hair and your leg hair and all the rest of that sort of stuff that the recon boys do?
Absolutely, mate. Yeah, look good, feel good, fight good.
Is that a thing in the UK military as well? I know here in Australia with our recon platoons and snipers and that, everyone teases them about they always have the cool kit and go fast gear and all the rest of it. Is it similar in the UK?
Mate, absolutely, yeah.
Brilliant.
So in the British Army, we call it looking alley. So it stands for Airborne Light Infantry.
Yep.
So it's like a tactical call, and you can't be in snipers or recce or recon as you call it without being alley.
Yep, love it, absolutely love it, mate. Fucking brilliant. I when I tweeted out to everyone, I said this is going to be a really good show because there's a certain brotherhood and bond between people who've signed up to fight for their country. And it doesn't matter where you and I have had one conversation. Cobra, who's in chat, connected us when he shared that sniping video of yours, and I was just blown away by it. But that first conversation, mate, it's really weird, isn't it? How there's that camaraderie that exists between blokes, especially when we from similar militaries. Australia is obviously part of the British Empire. The Commonwealth, and we have a lot in common. And even though there's a lot of time difference between, as you pointed out to me, you cheeky fucker, that I'm old school, there's a lot of similarities there, and that bond never. It's astounding, isn't it?
Yes, mate, it is. Yeah, and it, like you said, it doesn't matter what military you're from. I think all militaries are the same. I think they just kind of all attract the same type of degenerate individual.
Yes.
So we all tend to get along well.
And that's it, it's kind of weird, but there's very few actual soldiers that I hold an enmity towards, because at the end of the day, they're just the poor, silly, stupid buggers who were stupid enough to sign on the dotted line so that politicians can send us to fight in some weird fucking place, hopefully not our own fucking home territory. That would be absolutely fucking horrible. And put us against each other. It's kind of fucking sad, but there's almost a mutual respect, whether they're fucking Chinese, Russian, Indonesian, God knows what else. You've still got to respect that these people are doing for their country what you're doing for yours.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think maybe during my era in the military, I had it a little bit easier than I never went on operations against another recognized military,
like
despite their own personal beliefs. I was quite lucky that the people who I was deployed to deal with were quite often complete savages, and I feel it may be a lot more difficult for some of these Ukrainian guys, despite having been invaded, that the guys they are fighting are just conscripts, 18-year-olds with no clue doing exactly what they're doing. That's quite a big difference to make, that it would probably be a lot harder to come to terms with.
Oh, look, it's been very eye-opening watching a lot of the footage that's coming out of the Ukraine, and you said in one of your videos you were actually there on the ground as well doing some stuff, which we'll sort of talk around because obviously there's NDAs there for you. But
sure.
there's some pretty fucking scary shit, and I know militaries all around the world are watching what's happening there. Like this drone warfare, and I'm not talking about fucking drones firing Predator missiles and things like that, but these drones that are targeting individual soldiers and dropping explosive bombs on top of them. That is nightmare material, mate.
Yeah, absolutely horrendous. The level of some of the trauma that these guys are going to come home with, drone related trauma, is horrendous. there's a particularly harrowing video. I won't link it or post it in chat. And it's a Russian guy, and he's running away. He's got no rifle, he's got no kit, and he's running away while the drone follows him. And it's a really scary thought, because in the military, you train hard, you train as hard as you can, you push yourself to the limits because you want to be better than the other person. But how do you push yourself against a drone that doesn't get tired? It doesn't need food. It doesn't need to stop. It will just go until its battery runs out. Yeah. Batteries last longer than legs and fatigue and hunger. It's a pretty horrendous place to be on the other end of.
Yeah, it's absolutely scary. Very, very scary. But we'll come back to that. Well, let's start by finding out a little bit more about you, mate. So, if you're not comfortable sharing any of this info, just tell me to fuck off. But your age?
Yeah, so I'm 27 years old, mate.
Yep. So
and
relatively young.
From the UK. Yeah, I am, mate. I'm like the new generation of people getting out of the military now. So.
Yep. Misses and kids.
Yeah. Yes, mate. I have 2 kids, and one just arrived the other day. A little son called Theo. He just arrived the other day.
That's awesome.
He's about 7 days old now. Yeah, and
a son or missus. 2 boys, or a boy and a girl, or
no? I've got a boy and a girl now. Yeah, so I've got a girl. She's about 4.
What did I hear? Every man prays his son grows up just like him, and prays his daughter never meets anyone who did.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Yeah. Although I hope my son makes some better life decisions than I have.
But look, when I say that, I look at my son, and he's at university. He's studying history, and I just look at him, and I'm so fucking proud that he's not as dumb as his old man.
Yeah, mate, absolutely. Yeah. But I hope he takes my girlfriend's brains.
He turns around to me and he says things like, "Yeah, but Dad, I look at, he's 21 now, and he goes, I look at you and what you'd achieved by my age, and you'd been overseas to Somalia and things like that." And I said, "Mate, trust me, you are doing life fucking so much better." I'm just so proud of him. He's awesome. How long you been gaming for?
All my life, really, mate.
Yep.
I was thinking about this because obviously I've watched your spotlights before, and I was thinking, what's he going to ask me? What's my very first game I played? And I was thinking back, and I think the very first video game I played, right, it was a floppy disk that my dad brought home from work. So my dad used to be in the security services.
A floppy disk. There'll be people listening to this who won't even know what a floppy disk is.
I have a fucking clue what it is. So he brought home a floppy disk, and it had a game on it called Shoot Bin Laden, and it was like a pop-up game where Bin Laden would pop up and you'd click it and shoot him. I think that was my very first video game ever.
Is that the Acrobat Flash player one?
Mate, I have no idea. I just remember it's called Shoot Bin Laden. I must have been about 4 or 5, and he used to sit on his lap, and we used to just slot Bin Laden. So maybe that was like some of my initial break into gaming.
I remember that phase when Flash players were games were all the rage, and there was one. I remember doing the rounds, and it was you ran around shooting Bin Laden, and it was quite funny. Yeah. Oh, geez, that's going back a while.
Mate, yes.
What about when you were in the military? Did you do much gaming then?
Yeah, so I've always been a big gamer. So me and my friends, when we were in school and stuff, we built our own computers and stuff like that. So I've always been like a PC gamer.
Yep.
And we would have that, and absolutely, mate. And when I was in the military, I would always. I always have my own computer that I'd built, so I would always have my computer in the barracks, and then I'd have guys going in and be like, "You fucking playing video games on a computer?" I'd be like, "Yeah, mate, it's 10 times better." And then they'd be playing like Call of Duty, and then they'd see my screen, it's like 1440p, it's 120 hertz, and they're like, "Jesus fucking Christ, that's so much better than my Xbox." And then like they would come to me and be like, "Mate, if I give you the money, can you build me a computer?" So I was like, "Yeah, fucking course I can, sure." So then they're like, the block quickly became like a gaming PC because people would just come to me and be like, "Mate, if I give you the money," think back, I should have just charged money.
Yeah,
I should have. Why did I never just whack 200, 300 quid on top?
Because they're your mates.
It's opportunities.
Yeah. They all owe you one. Next time you had to move or something, whoever had a ute had to help you move or something like that. But it goes around, comes around. Were you doing like LAN gaming in the lines and things like that?
No, so we had pretty decent Wi-Fi, to be fair. I think you paid like £20 a month and you had like ultra fast. I say it's good. It was good for what it was.
Yeah.
But it was pretty decent, and we all used to like play a lot of games. I can't remember what we used to play. Towards the end of me leaving the military, everyone was like obsessed with Warzone. It wasn't. I don't mind Warzone, but it kind of wasn't really my thing.
Yeah.
But it was good. Definitely a lot of Call of Duty, a lot of Battlefield in the lines. Yeah.
Bit too like gamey for me. That's one thing I've tried. Probably about the only one I still dabble in a bit is PUBG, because it is a bit more gritty and realistic-ish. But
Yeah, man, I like
it's
PUBG.
a bit like DayZ, a bit, a bit of a looter shooter as well. You don't have to worry about gear so much because there is plenty of it, but I just like that aspect of it. And the one life, and once you're dead, that's it. Go start another fucking game. No respawn, straight back into the action and stuff like that. It's
Yeah, absolutely, mate. I think, and I also feel like Call of Duty is like you can only be good at Call of Duty when you're like 14. Like I feel like when I jump on a game of Call of Duty now, I just get my ass handed to me.
Yes.
It's like I'm still pretty good at video games, man. Like what's going on? Like I just don't have it anymore. Mate.
It's
I don't know.
like there's a game, StarCraft, I think it is, and it's pretty popular around the world, but the main place that game goes off is in South Korea, and the guys who play it, and it's just a real-time strategy game, but the guys who play it are all in their teens to at the oldest they're their early 20s, because after that their bodies just aren't capable of keeping up with the lightning fast reflexes these little kids have. And you even look at things like the PUBG internationals, CSGO. Once you reach a certain age, you just don't have that hand-eye coordination that the young kids, they've got 10 cans of Red Bull or a jar of fucking G Fuel or whatever in them, can move. They're just
Prescription of Adderall, mate.
yeah. They're lightning fast reflexes, but that's where the beauty of a game like DayZ and even PUBG to an extent allows you to compensate a bit with strategy. You look at someone like Toprek. He's got insane skills, but he's also a master strategist. I don't think he realizes half the time what he's doing, and that's why it's great. I introduced you to my friend Vigilante Gamers channel, and I love when he does those breakdowns of combat between people. And he did one on Toprek, and he summed up. Did you get to watch that one? The breakdown he did of the Toprek fight?
I haven't seen the Toprek fight, no,
mate, it's so good. But he ends up going, tactically, pretty much everything was perfect. Then you've just got to add in the fact that this is Toprek we're talking about. The guy does stuff that's humanly not possible for 99.9% of the player base. It's just insane. Yeah. And rather than be angry, I just feel glad that I get to see people. And that's how I feel with Olympic level athletes and people who can sing, and can do stuff that I will never be capable of doing. Yeah, I wish I could. Sucks that I can't, but I'm just grateful I get to fucking watch it. It's amazing.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I think that's kind of the beauty of YouTube as well. It's like it's showed just how high the skill level can be.
Yeah,
in some of these games,
and it's
great to sit back and watch.
Constantly being upped every day, with new metas and new stuff coming here and there, and it's just getting better and better every day. In some aspects, a bit worse, but yeah, mostly it's just you've only got to look at the quality of DayZ videos, gaming videos in general. From when they were first being filmed, just using a phone camera or something like that to record the screen, and then they had capture cards, and yeah, it's just insane.
Yeah, man, I was thinking about that the other day. YouTube gaming used to be a wild place, and the bar used to be.
Oh,